Good evening. Welcome to the March 9th Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. There we go. All right, we'll move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, roll, please.
Mayor Gentry.
Here.
Becky McClure.
Present.
Bill Stoner.
Present.
Dick Robertson.
Here.
And Alan Milburn.
Present.
We have a quorum. We'll proceed. Do we have minutes? I don't think we did. We'll have minutes in our next meeting then. So on to department head reports. First up will be Police Department, Chief Morgan.
Good evening, board members. Since our last meeting, the Lebanon Police Department has responded to 935 calls for service. 20 people were arrested for the following crimes: 5 for OWI, 5 for domestic battery, 4 for driving while suspended, 2 were wanted on a warrant, 1 for possession of a alleged drug, 1 for possession of marijuana, 1 for operating never received license, 1 for intimidation. In that same time frame, LPD took 26 crash reports and sent 2 handgun permits off to the state for final approval. On to training. February 25th to the 27th, Officers Deckard and Christie attended a field training officer course at Franklin PD. It focused on preparing experienced officers to mentor and train new recruits with emphasis on communication, coaching, and leadership skills. February 25th, officers completed refresher training on standardized field sobriety testing. They reviewed proper procedures used during impaired driving investigations to ensure tests are done consistently and according to national guidelines. February 26th, officers received room entry and building clearing training from Sergeant Trey Kamaj. The course included basic and advanced tactics and was conducted in a shoot house with scenario-based exercises. That training was done at the Brownsburg Police Training Facility. They allow us to use it when we need to. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief from the board? From the public? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next up will be Fire Department, Deputy Chief Hendricks.
Good evening. Since last Board of Public Works and Safety meeting, Lebanon Fire has responded to 166 emergency calls for service, logged 436 training hours, completed 100 commercial inspections, completed 9 commercial pre-plans, and installed 3 car seats. Our 2 recruits in the Pike Township Fire Academy, Elliot Young and Jimmy Midance, have finished EMT, and today marked the first day of the fire portion of the academy. The first of our newest recruits, Joshua Westfall, has passed all testing and medical evaluations and has been approved for his start date. Firefighter Blake Gaylor attended live fire instructor class in Lafayette. The class focuses on strategies for conducting quality live fire training at training facilities in accordance with NFPA standards. On Tuesday, February 24th, Engineer Gabe Westerfeld, Captain Sam Doherty, and Deputy Chief Matt Young attended Crisis Management and Media Relations class for public information officers. This class was hosted by Brownsburg Fire Territory and taught by former WTHR reporters Jeremy and Jennifer Brilliant. Topics included the rapidly changing media landscape, strategies for interacting with reporters during crisis situations, and tools for public information officers to better reach target audiences.
Thank you, Deputy Chief. Any questions for the Chief from the public? Yeah, thank you, sir. All right, next will be Parks and Recreation, John Messenger.
Good evening. Utility work on the Big Four trail head continues, along with about a mile of trail down the trail underneath the bridge there. The work is on schedule and should be completed in the next 6 weeks. Restrooms are now open at Memorial Park. Had a little issue at one of the restrooms, shut it down, so we opened up the other one. There again, Abner Longley, it will open later next week. We have some freezing temperatures and don't want those pipes to bust. Anyway, just to let you know, I know this nice weather, a lot of people are out and concerned. We removed the merry-go-round also at Memorial Park. I think that's been around as long as I have. And unfortunately, it can't be repaired. The parts are discontinued, and we just can't fabricate those. So we are meeting with the playground guy Friday and seeing what we can do about Mayor, you know the playground with the board on it that's been there a couple. I think it's one of your boys' favorites, so I'm going to look at that too. Again, that's another problem. It's 1985, and can't get replacement parts for that, and you can't fabricate anything. So I am getting some prices anyway, so hopefully the kiddos will have some fun. We're finalizing all aspects of Park Impact Fee project. I want to thank Ben for all his hard work and all the members on their input for that Park Impact Fee. It's going really well, and I think we're finalizing, have another meeting Thursday, and looking at the end of that project. Programs and events. Love Inc. hosted a 5K a couple weekends ago on a Saturday, had real nice weather, great turnout, had over 50 attendees, and the weather is gorgeous. Look forward to hosting them again next year. This weekend, this past Saturday, our March Lifeguard certification class at Lebanon High School. Thomas Ingalls does all the certifications, does a great job of hosting that and taking care of all the certifications for the lifeguards. We had 5 that attended this time. I think we have about 27 more. There again, we have another class coming up in April. Kids are busy right now, so at least we got 5 through the start of it, and looking forward to our 2026 season. Our 2026 Spring Pickleball League is now open for registration. This league will run on Thursday evenings at Memorial Park, costs $30 per team, and will begin April 9th. Visit our website for more information, or give our office a call. Everybody's been practicing. I see a lot of people out there already playing pickleball. A little windy tonight, but anyway, our annual Easter egg hunt will take place on Saturday, April 4th. We will begin the special needs hunt at 9:30 with the 3 age group hunts following that at 10:30. Our age groups are 2 to 4, 5 to 7, 8 to 10. And each egg hunt will include a special egg, and whoever finds it will receive a prize from the Parks Department. And just make sure to visit our Easter Bunny after and get your picture taken with him. It's always a fun time. And again, I want to thank Mrs. Bohannon's class from the high school, cleaning and stuffing those thousands and thousands of eggs that we will have for that event. That's all I have.
Thank you, John. Any questions for John from the board, from the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next will be Engineering Department, Kevin McCulloch.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Oh, my screen just went blank. Sorry. Citywide lighting project. So we had that presentation for City Council at the last meeting. Happy to report that all went well, and per some of the updates we gave you at that time. Last week we met, the mayor, myself, and Zach, and representatives from ESG met with Lebanon Utilities to discuss updates to their overall operations and maintenance procedures related to our street lighting. That will also include updates and audits of what we pay for the maintenance of street lighting. So more to come on that, but we began that conversation and we'll continue to advance that forward. Jumping over to Chadwick, the ditch relocation. I think we've completed all of our internal reviews and passed that back to our consultant, who is looking to finalize permitting sets and coordination with IDEM, Corps of Engineers, everybody else that's involved in a stream relocation of that nature. Grant Street Phase 2 is getting ready to gear up just around the corner. We're having coordination meetings between our consultants at Crossroads, our contractors at Midwest Paving, working on finalizing their soil, their stormwater quality control prevention plans, and then we'll have our pre-disturbance meeting. This is all to get ready to start that work in April. 1st of April is the planned start date for construction there. Elm Swamp and Elizaville intersection upgrades. Pre-construction meeting was held on Friday. They're planning to begin work on the 16th, so basically a week from today. They will begin some of the demolition work and scheduled to wrap up asphalt the week of March 30th and complete that project. The Witt Road project, after claims go through, assuming claims go through this evening, we will have all of our final checks ready to go out, and that will complete all of our right-of-way acquisition. 32 parcels, all 32 of them will be clear, and we will begin certifying that right-of-way and getting ready for letting in the fall. See, jump into park projects. The old street garage master plan, as everyone's aware, we've completed the RFPQ process to choose a contractor to move forward into the scoping period. So this will also be on the agenda for the council later this evening, but the Parks Board has approved the selection committee's recommendation for the team that we will move forward with on the scoping agreement. This is not an approval of the BOT agreement or the selection of a BOT contractor. This is just choosing the team to move forward with the scoping period. And that team is the team of Envoy that also includes V3, who did the original concept master planning for the park. So excited to get started with them. In fact, we have a project kickoff meeting this Thursday. Abner Longley Park Perimeter Path, that work is actually scheduled to be completed by the same contractor that's doing the Elm Swamp and Elizaville intersection upgrades. That's Ace Paving, and they are scheduled to begin work the second week of April. So shortly after they finish up that intersection, they will be moving over to Abner Longley Park to complete our perimeter path, as well as a intermediate path that goes off the east end of the parking lot and connects along the south side of the former Conservation Club pond over to the Big Four. So we'll have two loops, one loop kind of around the, we've got a loop around the Conservation Club pond. I suppose you could say we've got a loop around that and the football fields, and then we'll have a larger perimeter loop that should also be complete by early July or late June. Abner Longley Park storage building renovations, a lot going on there. Although fighting with the weather, not much had happened last week with all the rain. Concrete apron work is moving forward this week. These are the concrete aprons for the new overhead doors. And that should be complete. And then we'll hopefully begin looking at roofing the following week or a week after. We'll kind of have to watch the weather before we tear the roof off the place to see how that shapes out. But we're nearing the end. All the interior mechanical work is now complete. So really kind of focusing now on the exterior improvements and wrapping those things up. New police headquarters. We met with City Council in a working session on the 19th, and we are moving forward with acquisitions and looking at scheduling RFPQs for a BOT project for that, the delivery of that project as well. But that project is moving forward on an acquisition phase. This is the project site that is northwest of here, the corner of Superior and Meridian Street. And things continue to move forward. We'll be looking at a BOT RFPQ sometime in April. The existing headquarters building, we had AAA Plumbing come out and it's pulled some water samples. We're getting those things tested to verify that. Our duct cleaning quotes have all been received, and we're looking at getting the ducts cleaned and then focusing on water and the water quality within the building and see what needs to happen there. We are also getting quotes for some roof repairs and as well as taking care of some of the ceiling tiles that have been damaged by roof leaks over the years. The new station 13, lots going on there, although a little bit slow last week with all the rain. Stair tower construction is beginning this week. And essentially at this point, all the apparatus bay walls are at full height. And so they'll be moving forward with that, getting ready for steel decking. Truss delivery is scheduled for March 18th. So a lot of activity happening there, and things just continue to accelerate as we get more into the construction season. And then up at Station 212, we're also working with contractors there, exploring project budgets for various renovations to that building. Also working with our legal team on project procurement strategies and delivery strategies as we move that forward as well. DPW projects, happy to report that our final replacement lights for Indianapolis Avenue, well, I take that back. We thought was final. We've had another one hit, so we're going to be one short. But we got that one on its way as well, ordering some extra lights through the State Road 32 project that was already in the works before we had another hit. But so we're working with our friends at Setco Electric to install the 4 remaining lights over there on 3 or 4. 3, I think. 3 remaining lights over there on Indianapolis Avenue. That's really it for DPW projects. A couple of Leak District updates. The Phase 2 plans for State Road 32 are now complete. And they're working through the internal review process there at NDOT, but scheduled to start construction on that west phase of the project from 300 west to the west out to roughly 500 west, scheduled to start April 1st. We're also working with our friends at NDOT on all the betterments that are involved, including decorative lighting, landscaping, and multi-use paths. Also, I don't have any full details yet, but all of the Meta Road improvements, so the repaving of 350 West, the repaving of 200 North, repaving of 400 North, construction of 200 West. They're working on that and expecting to be filing permits here in the coming days for a start of construction near the end of the month. That's all I have.
Kevin, any questions for Kevin from the board? The public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next will be Planning Department, Ben Bontrager.
Evening, board members. Definitely can see in the numbers that we're starting to get a little bit closer to the spring construction season. Definitely seen an uptick in both building inspections and permits issued. So I think we're probably about 40% higher these last couple of weeks on building inspections than we were for like the late January, early February timeframe. So did almost 120 building inspections over the last couple of weeks. So definitely seeing it ramp up quite a bit there. Did also issue 57 building permits, and that does include 3 new single-family residential permits. So again, starting to see some of that activity on the residential side pick up. Commercial activity is still significant. 8 new building permits were issued in the last 2 weeks for commercial industrial buildings. So seeing a lot of activity there, putting a lot of activity onto the building inspectors too, as those projects starting to ramp up. Same thing with code enforcement. Again, seeing the numbers start to tick up as we get into the warmer weather and everybody starts looking outside and seeing what their neighbors' backyards look like. So quite a bit of activity, investigative activities over the last couple of weeks, and seeing the new cases pick up. Actually had 2 shrub and grass overgrowth complaints over the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure what that's related to, but again, I think some things are uncovering as winter breaks and people are starting to see some of those things. So definitely seeing activity pick up now. We're getting closer to the spring construction season. On the continuing education front, I'm going to be attending Urban Land Institute's Housing Opportunity Conference next week. I actually attended this conference last year, and it was very helpful. Focuses a lot on issues impacting the housing industry and housing markets, potential strategies and opportunities to try to address some of those issues. So got a lot of good information last year. Felt like it would be helpful for me to attend again this year. So looking forward to what I might be able to learn again this year and pass along here in Lebanon. So with that, that's all I've got. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions for Ben from the board? From the public? Okay, thank you, sir. Do we have someone doing the Public Works report? Kevin?
Thank you very much. I have Jason's report for you. Public Works report for this evening. Since your last meeting from the street division, wouldn't be March, wouldn't be sectional season in Indiana without the S word. And we had another S-word event on March 2nd that required the placement of 40 additional tons of salt on the roads. They've also been rebuilding and converting brush and debris boxes from wood to steel, much safer. We've had some incidents in the past, as you're aware of or may be aware of. So these are going to be much safer for residents as well as the DPW staff. They've replaced or repaired 16 signs since the last meeting, and they've used 3 tons of cold mix asphalt filling potholes. From the Stormwater Division, they've responded to over 360 utility locates, been cleaning debris from storm drains around the city, especially as we begin to get these spring rains. That's very important. Cleaned up trash from city easements, and got elevations for a future drainage project along Birchwood Drive. And then they wanted to let everyone know that limb pickup season is just around the corner, so they'll start that again in April. So the week of April 6th, they'll have machines out doing some of those limb pickups and mulching. Then again, there'll be another week, the week of May 11th, the week of June 8th, the week of July 6th, the week of August 3rd, and the week of September 7th. So limb pickup season is just around the corner, which is a good sign. So that's all I have.
Any questions for Kevin? Dick?
Kevin, you might let Jason know that there's a pretty good pothole starting on 250 North.
250 North.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me about where?
Right in front of, just west of the nursing home and the bank, Brandenburg, right in front of Brandenburg.
Okay. I know where you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yep.
right there.
300 North.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
250. 250 North,
250 or?
250 North.
Okay. Thank you.
Dave Brandenburg.
Oh, I was sorry. Thinking about the old Brandenburg farmstead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. Any other questions from the public? Okay. And just so you know, Dick, you can always report a pothole on the city website too, using our iWork system. So if you ever want to try that, feel free.
Yeah, I dodge it every day.
No, you're good. You're good. I understand. All right. I don't see Joe from communications report, so we'll move on to old business. Nothing on my agenda for old business. Anything from the board? Okay. New business then. First item up here is street closure request for the Boone County Classic. Is there a Pat Shannon in the audience? Pat?
Thanks for the invite tonight. My name's Pat Shannon. I'm the race director of Boone County Classic and Team Nebo Ridge. Team Nebo Ridge is a cycling club based out of Carmel. We have 120 different riders in many different disciplines. A lot of them fit in nice with the Stone Eater Bike Park, gravel, cross, as well as mountain bike riding. But our main emphasis is on road cycling. We have many rides throughout the year, in the summertime primarily, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, where we attract as many as 25 to over 100 riders per ride going out into Boone and Hamilton County. We also have a ride that ends here in Lebanon up at Arnie's, and we usually have about 40 riders that have a casual ride from Carmel and up at Arnie's. We pay for everyone's lunches, and with full stomachs, we race back to Carmel, which is quite interesting. So anyway, we're a very active cycling club. We put on a race right now in Boone County called the Harvest 50, and that's based out of Maple Lawn Farmstead. We attract over 300 riders annually. We're in our 11th year so far, and we're continuing that race. And that is race that's gravel specific, and that is out into northern Boone County and Hamilton County out on the gravel roads. So fast forward, a mutual friend introduced us to Allison Gutwine of Discover Boone County, and Allison had a request that we were quite surprised about, and that was to have another event here in Lebanon in support of America 250 and the Boone 250. We decided to go ahead and do that, and that is a road race that we want to put on May 16th. We've had a very short period of time to put this together, and obviously we're here to request some road closures. The race itself will be about 300 riders taking off at 10 a.m. in the morning. We need to be able to set up at 7 a.m. on the 16th. The race event will end at 4, and then we tear down from there. We anticipate about 300 riders at this race, as well as family members and a crowd out there. So We could have as many as 400 to 450 is what we're banking on. We'll see what happens. One of the things that we need help with, and I've thought this opportunity, is sponsorships. I know that there's a lot of infrastructure happening up in northern Boone County. If there is anyone that is interested in supporting the community, we'd be more than willing to listen to them. So if you can get back with me, if you have any suggestions, I'd be grateful. So the main emphasis from Discover Boone County was to attract visitors from outside of 50-mile radius. So if you take, starting in Chicago, go clockwise in a circle, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus, Louisville, St. Louis, Champaign-Urbana, and back to Chicago, that's where we pull most of our riders from. And a lot of the advertising dollars are going towards attracting those people so that we can get more overnight stays in the county. So what the ask is shutting down the roads. We are looking at East Washington, just north of the courthouse, and East Washington, just north of Clues Brews. We're going to have the start-finish line on the east side of East Washington, and we need that area west for staging areas. But more importantly, when we come back in over the start-finish line heading west, once we passed over the start-finish line, we anticipate a bunch sprint. And what that means, with 300 riders, we could have anywhere between 20 and 30 riders, shoulder to shoulder, bumping one another in speeds of excess of 30 miles an hour. So we need that extra block in front of north of the courthouse as an area to slow down for safety's sake. So that's the reason why we need that additional space there. Further, South Meridian, from Clues down to the end of the block, is going to be the area for entertainment. So we're going to have picnic benches there. We're going to have a live band, 2 food trucks, and refreshments from Clues. So that's really quick overview of what we're doing, and I'd like to open it up to questions.
So those are the only hard closures. Will you need any kind of soft closures or rolling closures for the actual course itself, or you guys are kind of fine once you have that?
Yeah, when you go East Washington, further east, we're going to be self-supported, stopping riders, not traffic, in some of those smaller intersections till we get out in the country. We've already talked to the county, the sheriff. We're going to have a police escort. We're shutting down 421 and some of those other major roads as we cross over into Hamilton before we circle back.
And then, so remember the date again?
May 16th.
And then you need the closures from when to when?
Probably 7 a.m. in the morning until we're going to be shutting down at 4. So I would say maybe about 60, 90 minutes after that to give us time to help with the barricades and all that.
Call it 6 to be safe?
Excuse me?
7 a.m. to 6 p.m. just to be safe?
I would say that'd be safe, yes.
Okay. Any questions or concerns with that?
Well, I'm not confused here, but you mentioned that the start-finish line was where at East Washington and Meridian?
East Washington and it's East Street. So on the west side,
Oh, I was just thinking about where you said they needed to slow down, and I was thinking they've only got a block to do that, but now you got 2. Okay.
And they'll come back in on Washington then, essentially?
Sorry?
And so then they'll come back in on Washington?
Yes, they are.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
they
they'll
leave and come back in
leave
on
and come
Washington.
back in. Okay.
Yeah. So I was really afraid that if we have a hard stop right there at Meridian, that we're going to have a bunch of people running into one another. So we need that extra space.
It's kind of the T, essentially. So
It's going to be a rolling, you don't need the closing all the time. You just need.
they do for this T. They need a hard closure for that, but everything else would be
Take off.
rolling. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we would need a minimum of Meridian, and from Meridian till East Street, that L blocked off the entire time. If we need to figure out, if you need the other part open.
Yeah, I think we're okay. I mean, it's okay. Just it's from east to 39.
Right.
on Washington Street and then Washington to Main Street, just for a hard closure during the event.
And we are doing we are reaching out to the businesses in the area, let them know what's happening, and just sort of a PR thing.
Well, I'm sure they'll like the Hungry Bike Riders there down the downtown too, so that'd be okay.
Yeah.
And hopefully Thursday as well. Any other questions or concerns from the board? Okay. With that, I would entertain a motion to approve the street closure request as presented.
Make a motion, we approve the street closure request as presented.
Motion approved. Is there a second? Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That's approved. Clerk, your vet, Pat. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We've had a request to table the street closure request for the Hammerley 5K. So we'll take that up at our next meeting. Next up will be an on-call consulting services agreement with V3. Kevin?
Thank you very much. I mentioned V3 earlier. They're the ones that have been instrumental. Well, they've been instrumental on a lot of fronts across the city. They're currently our primary vendor for our brownfield program. So they do all the investigative work, all those phase 1, phase 2 analysis studies that happen on any of our old brownfield sites, which included the former street garage, where they were also the primary landscape architecture firm related to the planning there. So this is not anything specific to a project. This is just putting them under contract on an on-call basis. We do this with our traffic consultants. We've done this with V3 in the past. This is just putting them again into an on-call contractual relationship. So as any of those services that are needed, there will be continued services needed on the former street garage site, the West Side Park, that will then be handled through a work order request and fulfillment process as we move forward. So we'll know exactly what costs are moving forward into this. And there's no appropriation request at this time for anything that they would be doing. This is just purely the Board of Works is the contracting authority for the City of Lebanon, authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with V3 for on-call consulting services subject to legal review.
Questions or concerns with this? Okay. And a motion to approve the on-call services agreement with V3.
I'll make a motion to approve the consulting services agreement with V3, please.
Motion approved. Is there a second? Second from the board? Second. There we go. Second from the judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved. Thank you, board. Next up is consulting services agreement concerning Witt Road, amendment number 2. Kevin?
Thank you very much. Witt Road reconstruction. This is an amendment number 2 for engineering services associated with that project for American Structure Point. This primarily is related to us adding a water main relocation project to the overall construction project. And so this is a contract not to exceed $132,100. That breaks down to roughly $67,000 for the water main relocation design. And then there's ancillary updates to the road construction plans for $8,600. Additional utility coordination that will be required with some of the other utilities that may now be in conflict once we relocate the water main for $9,900. And then there's also, this is not really water main related, but there is some post-construction stormwater requirements that have been put on to the project by the county surveyor's office that we want to also pick up with this amendment. That's $9,300. And then subsurface utility engineering, this is specifically related to all the utility relocation work associated with the water main relocation for $36,900. So for a total amendment number 2 to the PE contract of $132,100, I would ask that any motion include authorization for the mayor to execute, as well as this be subject to legal review.
Kevin, now, the cost of that, isn't that being covered by the utilities though? Or is this part of the city's?
The cost of the construction would be, but the design we are covering.
We're covering, okay. And this is part of our grant process?
This is part of our grant process, but this part is not, well, that part is not eligible for any reimbursement by the state.
Fair enough. Okay. So contingency then, I assume?
So you have funds to cover this?
We do have funds. There will be some additional appropriations that will come later in the year as we get closer to final bidding on the project. But we have ample funds right now to continue to work. So I guess why don't we also make this contingent on appropriations as needed? But right now we have funds appropriated to cover the work we are doing between now and letting period.
Questions or concerns from the board? Entertain a motion to approve as presented.
I make a motion, we approve as presented.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All fair side.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, Kevin. All right, and last item here, consulting services agreement for the Price Legal Drain Amendment 2.
Thank you very much. This goes back a few years. Price Legal Drain is the legal drain reconstruction under State Road 39 under the CSX Railroad right-of-way. We are really just down to final legal approval on the contract with CSX. Once we can execute that contract, then we're ready to go into more of the construction phasing of the project. So this is an amendment for Christopher Burke to take us from where we are now, finalizing any last minute permit updates that we have to do, and then taking us through construction coordination phases of the project, construction inspection, coordinating access easements with some of the adjoining property owners. So this is the work to get this across the finish line through construction. Again, for Christopher Burke, for $160,300 is the total not to exceed fee for this. This would be, I would ask that the motion include authorization for the mayor to execute, subject to legal review and subject to funding appropriations. This is a project that has been funded by the RDC. So again, once we know letting, we'll know better off what this is going to look like. And we have ample funds right now to continue to pay for all these services, but we need to see what the project bids at and how our final matches from NDOT and CSX come in to see if we can cover this cost or if we'll have to come back. So for right now, I feel this is included under contingency, but would be possibly subject to additional appropriations.
Any questions on that from the board? You ever going to try to build a drain under a railroad ever again?
It's exciting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been a process. I know. So.
Yeah, it's been
3 years.
4 years.
4 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 years ago we started
A
this.
number of years, yeah.
Okay. With that, we'll entertain a motion to approve. Is there a second? Or is there entertain a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, we approve as presented.
Motion to approve as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved. That concludes what I have for new business. Anything from the board? Okay, move on to claims. Entertain a motion concerning the claims.
I make a motion, we pay the claims.
Motion to pay the claims. Is there a second? Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any announcements or discussion? Okay. Our next Board of Works meeting will be Monday, March 23rd at 6:15 p.m. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All fair side.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Redevelopment Commission is up next.